Ed, what is the matter with you? Seriously, you have got some explaining to do for yourself. I mean, did you really spend $5,000 on our credit card last month?
Why? Is that what the bill is showing? It doesn't feel like I spent that much money, but wow. Maybe I did, actually.
Yes, it is what our credit card bill is saying, if you must know. Not only that, but so much of the money was spent going to those bars where all the girls wear skimpy clothing and flirt with the customers. What is the meaning of this? Please tell me that there is some kind of mistake that I'm just not seeing right now.
Oh, yes. I remember now. I did use all of that money. Yeah. The thing was that one of the girls that I really like was having her birthday at work. So I went all out on her.
Are you kidding me? You mean that you really spent all that much on a girl for her birthday? Now look, Ed, I am not going to pretend like I can stop you from flirting with other women, but as long as you don't go too far with it, I won't say anything. But still, spending this kind of money for something like that is just... well, it's a bit much, don't you think?
What are you talking about? It's fine. I don't see what the problem is. I mean, it's not like we don't make enough money to afford it.
That might be true, but if you're going to spend that much money, then we're going to have nothing for our savings by the end of the month. And then just how do you think we're going to get along when we've retired, huh?
Well, it's not like that's happening next week or anything. We're still young and have plenty of time. Besides, I'm the breadwinner around here, so I don't understand what you think you're doing trying to tell me how to spend my money. You don't have any right.
You know, you've really changed, Ed. Ever since you switched jobs, it's like all you can think of is trying to spend every cent that we have on the stupidest things.
Are you talking about the raise that I got? Well, excuse me if I realize that we have more money to spend every week and I allow myself a little treat every now and then. Unlike you, I wasn't happy living being poor and had to settle for what we had.
Oh, please, it's not even like our lives were all that hard before you were doing what you're doing now. We were more than comfortable, I would even say.
Well, I guess you just really wouldn't understand. But us men don't settle down so easily. We have ambition in our hearts that never dies out. So the moment we settle into a new routine, we're already thinking about how we're going to get ahead next. The whole reason I wanted a new job was because I wanted the challenge and all the knowledge I would gain from learning new skills. You might be happy with being comfortable, but I want more than that.
Look, Ed, I think it's really great that you wanted to challenge yourself with this new position and all, but you are just taking the spending a little too far. I mean, it's like you've never even heard of fiscal responsibility or anything like that. You just need to slow down with all of this.
And just what am I doing that's making you this upset, huh? I think you're taking this whole thing way too far.
Well, for one, you giving off the energy that you think everyone is beneath you.
Is that it? Is that what got you upset? Well, I don't know what you want me to do about that if it's a fact. After all, I got myself this far through my own hard work, and no one can take that away from me. If my success offends them, that's their problem. But anyone who would really feel that way instead of feel motivated by me isn't even worth my time.
You don't really think that way about other people, though, do you, Ed?
Why wouldn't I? I mean, it's only the truth. I'm being honest. Besides, this is a good thing for you, too. It means that you chose the right one and married a winner. Can't you see that people recognize it just seeing us walking down the street together? So it's good for the both of us. I would think you would understand how I feel, coming from your dad who never managed to accomplish anything in his life.
Excuse me, Ed, but I would appreciate it if you kept your thoughts on my dad to yourself. And just what does my dad have to do with this anyways? You've been bringing him up more and more.
Well, maybe that's because now the tables have flipped and I'm in the higher position than your dad.
Okay, sure, that may be true in your professional lives. After all, my dad's company relies on contracts from your company to survive. But that shouldn't bleed into the private sphere. You need to treat my dad with respect. I mean, he's your father-in-law, for crying out loud. Don't you want to be a good husband and son-in-law to my family? Don't you have any respect for them at all?
You really don't know anything. To a real man, the only thing that matters is status. If your dad only ever managed to own a middle or small-sized company, that's his fault, not mine. I didn't make him a loser. He did that through his own choices. I mean, it's not like he didn't have plenty of time to make different choices and change his life so that it wouldn't be what it is today.
I'm sorry, but you're acting like it isn't important at all what my dad does. But his company makes the microchips that your company's machinery relies on to work. So just because he relies on you for work doesn't mean that you can act like he doesn't do anything.
And now you're sounding just like the other loser who I know that I'm better than. Why are you even sticking up for these kinds of people? Here I thought you'd be able to overcome your low past, but I guess I was wrong.
You really have some nerve talking to your wife like this, do you know that?
Well, it's the truth, isn't it? I mean, the fact is that your dad doesn't work for a huge company like mine. I'm the one doing him a favor by keeping him employed. It's just that I'm so realistic enough to admit that's what's happening.
Hey, Ed, did you bring a woman into our house?
What in the world are you talking about, Fran? Is that a serious question?
Don't you play games with me right now, Ed. Just answer the question. I am serious.
Are you seriously asking me that? You really think I would do something like that? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I found a few long blonde hairs in our bed, but we both have dark hair and haven't had any guests over in a while. So do you care to explain where these might have come from?
Have you gone crazy or something? Those hairs might have just been stuck to either one of us all day before falling off in bed. Is that really what you're basing these accusations on right now?
Oh no, that's not the only thing. You've been coming home late more and more often too. I was starting to get a little suspicious of you, so I decided to look at our credit card statement, and that's when I saw that you had been going out to restaurants those nights. And I would be very surprised if you were spending the amount that you were just to feed yourself.
You mean that you went and looked at my credit card statement to try and catch me cheating? You really are an obnoxious woman. Do you know that?
Well, that wasn't all that I saw. I also saw all the women's clothes that you were buying as well. And let's just say that I haven't gotten a present from you in a long, long time, so how was I supposed to take all of this as anything but proof of you cheating on me?
Okay, alright, fine. You caught me. I'm cheating on you. There. Are you happy?
How can you be so casual about this? Do you really not have any regrets about this at all? And are you going to tell me who it is that you've been cheating on me with?
And just why should I have to answer any of those questions, huh? Is there some law that says I have to answer to you?
Of course there's no law, but I am your wife, so I would think that it's the least you could do for me. Why can't you just tell me who it is that you've been seeing?
She's just some girl that works under me in the office. That's all.
So you've been cheating on me with another one of your coworkers then?
That's what I just said. But you're not getting any more information out of me than that. My work is really strict with office relationships, if they aren't serious. And if word got out that I was having an affair with someone else there, I would be in real trouble. So that's why you're never going to learn the name of this woman.
Very well. I understand that your hands are tied. That's fine. But I don't understand why you would cheat on me.
Well, because of the thrill of it all, of course. Besides, don't you know that the majority of men cheat on their spouses? So this really isn't even that big of a deal when you think about it.
You really have some nerve trying to tell me that this is something that I shouldn't have to worry about. I am the victim here, so I'm not going to be lectured about how this isn't a big deal by you.
So what? You think I should apologize to you or something like that? Because you have to know that this isn't going to happen. I'm never going to bow my head to someone that I know is beneath me.
Even if you wrong someone who you think is beneath you, you still won't even apologize or admit that you did wrong?
If I did anything to someone beneath me, then they probably had it coming. And as for you, you should just forget all about this little affair. Got it?
And just who do you think you are to tell me to do something like that, huh?
There you go, getting all hysterical on me. You really are such a selfish woman. Do you know that? You won't even let your husband go out and experience the smallest of thrills. I have to say that I'm just really let down by you, Fran. But then again, I guess you can understand why I chose to cheat on you now, can't you?
Well, the feeling of disappointment is so much more than mutual, Ed. I mean, you could have just said that you were sorry or just admitted that you did wrong, but you didn't have to say all this horrible stuff on top of it.
Ugh. I really just can't win with you, can I? Fine. If you're really going to be like this, just tell me something that you want and I'll buy it for you.
That isn't going to fix this, and you know that.
Well, there I go. I show you that I'm willing to make this up to you somehow, and you just shot me down. This proves that you're just trying to use this whole affair thing to gain leverage on me. But I'm telling you that it isn't going to work. In fact, you can play at this blackmail game. If you try and extort me like that again, I will make sure your dad gets fired.
But you don't even work for the same company. Do you really think you can do that?
Oh, of course I can. You think that I don't have enough sway to get someone fired from a company that we keep afloat? Your dad is on thin ice and he doesn't even know it. And the only one who can save him from me is you. So choose wisely. And don't ever try to threaten me again, or else you can be the one to explain to your dad why he lost his job. If you don't think I will, feel free to try me.
Please, just stop there. You know that my dad has nothing to do with this at all, so why bring him into this?
That's right. Your dad does have nothing to do with this. But if this is what I have to do to keep you in line, then you leave me no choice. Now, I don't want you to ever fight me on anything again. Got it?
Hey there, Fran. How have you been? Are you doing okay?
Hey there, Dad. How's it going? Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm just fine. Thank you. I just thought it had been a while since you and I'd last spoke is all. So, how have you been? Is work keeping you busy or something like that?
Well, I guess so. I can't exactly say that I'm swamped, just keeping along at the usual pace.
And what about Ed? Are things good between the two of you? He should have work off today, right?
He is off work, yes, but he's out of the house right now.
Well, ain't that just the way? It seems like every time I happen to message you, he's always out of the house. I guess I must have really bad timing when I want to talk to you both, huh?
I just think that he has a lot going on, and so he's always busy. He barely spends any time at home, to be honest.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm sorry that you're not able to spend more time together. I know that must be hard for you. But are you okay, Fran?
Oh, Dad, I'm really sorry for making you worry. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Honey, are you sure about that? You know that you can tell me if anything is wrong, right?
Well, it's just... Yes, I'm fine. Why are you so concerned that something might be wrong with me anyways?
It was your mom who was worried about you first, actually. She said that you didn't quite sound yourself the last time you two talked on the phone.
Oh, really? Did she say that? Maybe I was just a little too tired is all.
Well, I feel like your mom might have thought that it was a bit more than that. I mean, it's not often that much time passes between the two of you talking. But now all of her worrying has got me worrying too. So, please, if anything has happened, just know that you can come to us about it.
I'm sorry, Dad. I want to say that, but I can't. Just know that I really am okay, though.
But why can't you tell your mom or I? We're your parents, for crying out loud. You know that we want to help you.
I know, and I wish that I could ask you for help, but this time I just can't. But it really isn't that big of a deal, so I just don't want you to worry yourself over me, okay?
Fran, come on. You know that your mom and I are not just gonna not worry about you. Please, you have to open up to us. Are you really trying to tell your dad that he can't help his daughter out this time?
Well, it's just that I don't think that you could in the way that you wanted to.
Well, I can't know that until you tell me a little more about what's going on. But if there was anything in my power that I could do, I would do it. So please, won't you just tell me what's going on? Whatever it is, it's gotta be better to have someone on your side for this.
Okay, well, the truth is that Ed is cheating on me. He's having an affair.
Wait, what? Are you serious? You're telling me that little punk has been seeing other women?
That's right, and before this, he even brought this other woman into our house. And when I called him out on his affair, he refused to apologize to me. He's always talking down to me.
And just who does that jerk think he is, treating you like that? You haven't deserved any of this. I want you to know that.
I know, but the thing is that Ed said that his company keeps yours afloat with the business they give you. He told me that if anyone ever found out who he was cheating on me with, that he would pull some strings and have you fired.
What on earth is that man talking about? Has he really no idea anything? Does he really think he can take me down that easily?
Well, he told me that he has a higher position in his company than you, and that's why I can't say anything. I would just hate for me to be the reason why you were fired.
Well, let me be the first to tell you that he can't just fire me. I don't care how our companies are related. He just doesn't have that power.
You really mean that, Dad?
Of course I do. He can't be a single to me, but I don't think he realized how much I can do to him.
What do you mean? Is there something that you can do to Ed?
It is true that he is higher up in his company than I am, but he is still taking this way too far. I won't let him get away with this.
Dad, just what are you going to do? Is everything going to be okay?
For us? Yes. For the man that hurt my daughter like Ed has? Not at all.
Hey there, Ed. About the affair that you've been having. I just can't take it anymore. We need to talk.
And just what in the world do we even have to talk about? I thought that we already settled this matter.
Well, we didn't. Not at all. You just tried to silence me, and that's it.
That's because there was nothing left to talk about. We settled this issue already. I told you that if you wanted an apology from me, I'd be happy to buy you something. But you shouldn't be getting this upset over something as small as an affair.
Well, I just can't stand around and pretend like I don't know what's going on in my own house.
Well then, what do you want to say to me, huh? Just be careful about how you word things, because I can have your dad fired with one simple phone call.
The only one around here is going to be fired is you little brat.
Brat? Excuse me? I'm older than you.
You're not talking to my daughter anymore, Ed. It's me, Cameron. And I know I should have never let my daughter marry you.
Wait a second. Cameron, as in Fran's dad, Cameron?
That's right. I'm here with Fran. She told me all about the hell you've been putting her through. But you should know that you aren't going to get away with this. We're going to make you pay for what you've done.
You think you can make me pay for what I've done? You really seem to be missing the bigger picture here, Cam. My company practically owns your company, so I'm afraid that there's not a single thing you can do to touch me, much less punish me for anything I've done outside of work.
I'm afraid you're the one who doesn't see what's really going on here. You see, your boss and I used to go to school together. He was a year younger than me, and I took him under my wing and mentored him. I could have you gone with just a text message.
Wait a second. You mean that you and my boss know each other?
That's right. And in this world, position isn't everything. Sometimes, a good human connection can take you much farther. I told your boss all about what you did to my daughter, and he got on his knees to beg for my forgiveness.
But that can't be right. Why would he do that when he's so much more rich and powerful than you?
I've already explained that quite clearly to you. But you should also know that I've already talked to your boss to take care of you.
Wait a second. What is that supposed to mean? Are you saying that you asked him to fire me?
How he chooses to deal with his employees is entirely up to him. But I understand there's already a system in place to punish office romances. Which, of course, is the exact kind of affair you were having, wasn't it? Fran already explained to me about how you made her keep her mouth shut through threats. But that was because you were scared of being punished for what you were doing.
But, I mean, I can't be fired for this. This is taking everything way too far, right? Everyone cheats. This isn't fair.
Do you really think that everyone cheats? You really are a sick guy if you think that's true. But anyways, I would start working on your resume and looking for empty positions you could fill.
But if I lose my job, then what about Fran? Who is going to take care of her? Don't you realize that you're hurting the both of us by doing this?
Oh, I don't think my daughter cares at all if you lose your job. After all, she's going to leave you and move back in with her mom and I.
The next day. Fran, are you there? I'm so sorry for everything. I was an idiot and shouldn't have treated you like that. Please, get back to me when you see this message.
Ugh, what do you want? You are seriously so annoying. Do you know that?
Fran, please, you have to forgive me. I'm so sorry for all the horrible things that I said. Please tell your dad that he has to forgive me for this.
I heard that you showed up for work today and tried to talk to your company president, right?
That's right. I needed to explain to him that this whole business with your dad was just one big understanding for me. But he just told me that I was fired. Nothing was going to change his mind. He was really upset about all the things that I said about being better than your dad. Then he told me at our company, we don't care about who is the contractor and contracted. He told me that I was being abusive towards very important clients and that he wasn't going to stand to have someone like me working under him. So that's why he told me that I was fired.
Well, I don't know the whole story, but it sounds to me like my dad and your old boss were quite close. From what my dad told me, your boss tried to open up a different business years ago, but it failed. Even so, my dad was there to support him and give him tips on how to run a business. So your boss was able to revive his business into the office where you work today.
I knew there was a previous version of this company that my boss started, but I didn't know the whole story of how it came to be. And I certainly had no idea that your dad played such a huge role in it.
Well, now you do. And now you understand why choosing to target me through my dad was a mistake. But you were always such a prideful person, so it doesn't surprise me that it took everything blowing up in your face to finally realize that you were wrong.
Well, can you at least tell your dad that I'm sorry? I've tried calling him a bunch of times, but I think that he's ignoring me. Please, you're all that I have left, Fran.
I'm afraid you're wrong about that. I'm not all that you have left because you never had me. There isn't a single part of me that feels like standing up for you, Ed. You betrayed me, blackmailed me, and made me live under the same roof with a husband that I knew was cheating on me. If you really think that there is any way that my dad or I will ever forgive you for this, then you're dead wrong. You and I are going to get a divorce, and I'm going to sue you for your affair, and then I never ever want to see you again. Got it?
Divorce me? Please, I just got fired. You can't do this to me. Please tell me that you're not serious about that. Hello? Fran? Are you still there? Please tell me that you're getting these messages. You have to help me. I'm begging you here. Please help me. Fran, come back.
After that, Ed and I got a divorce where I took him to the cleaners in alimony. I also sued him and his partner for their affair and got quite the hefty payout from them as well. Afterwards, I hear that the two of them were fired for their office romance, which went against company policy. They both went to their respective hometowns, begging for their parents to take them back in. Thankfully, I never heard from either one of them again. The same day that Ed was fired, his boss invited me to his office and gave me a very kind and sweet apology for what Ed had done. He told me that he had no idea an affair was happening in his office, and that that's why he hates office romances. I thanked him for his concern, but I was just glad that we were able to teach Ed a lesson that status isn't everything. As for me, I'm still trying to get back on my feet while living with my parents. I've gone out and found a job and am apartment hunting too. It hasn't been easy adjusting back to the single life, but I'm sure that after what I've been through, I'll be just fine.